This glow effect is the reason thousands of thumbnails get clicked every single day. And today, I'm gonna show you exactly how to make it yourself. Alright, so the first thing we wanna do is we wanna go to the quick selection tool to mask out our subject. Once you clicked on the quick selection tool, press select subject and Photoshop's AI will now make a selection around your subject. Then we press on the layer mask and this should cut out our subject. Now, don't worry about the halo that you see around the subject because that will be covered in glows. Now, press on the plus button to create a new layer. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna fill the layer with black. And the way we do that is we make black the foreground color and then we press Alt backspace on the layer. And then we make an empty layer above the layer with the black foreground. Then we click on the adjustment layer tab and we go for gradient map. Now click here and under this color bar, you can add 4 points. Now the purpose of this is to go from black to the darker color of your color of preference, then the lighter color of your color of preference, and then white. Now, once we have that, we will clip the gradient map to the layer below it. Then we group all 3 layers together. We set the blend mode to screen. Once we've done that, we can actually start drawing the glow around our subject. So we press B for the brush tool and we make sure that we grab the soft round pressure pen. Now we can make the brush smaller by pressing the brackets. So the left one will make it smaller and the right one will actually make it bigger. Now make sure the opacity and the flow is both at 100. And by the way, if you want to do this with a mouse, you can also do this with a mouse. But the purpose is to go over your subject and go all the way around. Now, if you're like me and you're drawing with a pen and you like to have it a little bit more sideways, then you can press Shift R to rotate your artboard and make sure that you can comfortably go over your subject. I will actually speed this up, so I see you back when this is done. Now, once you went all the way around your subject, now it's time to actually go for the smaller strands of hair. And this is just to add a touch of detail and make it look better. Now, once you're happy with the result, we're gonna go over to the next step. Now, what we wanna do next is we wanna select these 2 layers and then we press Ctrl E to merge the layers. And then we convert it into a smart object. And this is where everything is going to look a little bit more clean, okay? So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna click on that layer, we go to filter, then we go to stylize and then oil paint. We wanna take every little slider and bring it up to 10, and lighting you can ignore, that's a different effect. But as you can see, it makes all the lines very smooth and that is what we want. Now we want to copy the group that we made earlier and place it below our subject. Now we can delete the layer that we just merged because we don't need that anymore. Click on the plus icon again to create a new layer. Press on X to shift the colors if the foreground is not black, and then press Alt delete again. What we want to do now is make the brush bigger because this will actually become the glow behind the subject. Make sure to clip the gradient map to the black layer below. Make the brush nice and big and go from big to smaller. Now we actually have light on the background of our subject. Now there is one more step that we need to do to make this even better. So for the next step, press on the plus button and make it the top layer. Then make the top layer into linear dodge. And then you just sample a dark color from the blues that we have just made the background with. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna create a nice bloom effect. So what you can do is go to the flow and reduce it to about 50%. See what feels nice for you and what makes it look the most natural. And then you wanna go over the sides of your subject so it gives it this bloom effect. You can also put a subtle bloom effect on the face. And here is the before and after. That's the glow that drives thousands of clicks a day. Try it on your next thumbnail, and if you found this helpful, smash the like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments how it turns out. This was Marcus, and I see you back in a split second. Peace.